All right, so it is official. Virginia Tech is hiring James Franklin as its next head coach. Pete Thamel reported on College Game Day on Saturday morning that both parties, Virginia Tech and James Franklin, were engaged in early stage talks of James Franklin becoming the Hokies' next head coach. However, FanSide's Fighting Gobbler reported that the connection had been going on for several weeks before that report on Saturday morning. So the rapport was already there. They were just beginning those early stage talks on late Friday, early Saturday. And fast forward to Monday afternoon, and this thing escalated really quickly as now James Franklin is officially Virginia Tech's next hire. They're finalizing contract details as we speak right now, and so as I come to find out what that is, what that consists of, I will drop those details in the comment section below. But just to give my take on this hire, I want to say, in essence, I love it. I know that there's been discussions about this pairing for weeks now. A lot of people have put it out there, put that hypothetical of James Franklin going to Virginia Tech out there. And the minute I heard it, in theory, I loved the pairing between the two. Because Virginia Tech is a program that is in desperate need of a turnaround. They've performed below their standard for years now, and as an avid college football fan, I want to see those Hokies be back. There's nothing like Enter Sandman on a Saturday night when Virginia Tech is ranked number 10, number 8, number 13 in the country. I want that back. Hokie fans want that back. I think I speak for most college football fans when I say we want that back. We want to see these prime Hokies return. Those Michael Vick, those Tyrod Taylor, those Frank Beamer, Virginia Tech Hokies come back again. And I know that Frank Beamer is the greatest coach in program history in Blacksburg, but I think that James Franklin is going to do a pretty damn good job as well. James Franklin is the master of the turnaround, and that is exactly what Virginia Tech needs right now. I mean, look at what he did at Vanderbilt between the years 2011 and 2013. Vanderbilt went from going 2-10 to winning 9 games a year with James Franklin, and then Penn State. And I know that the ending was kind of rocky, and I'm going to get to that. But James Franklin turned Penn State from a program that was down and scandal-ridden to a legitimate contender in the Big Ten each and every single year. Yes, they might have fallen short of expectations when it comes to winning a national championship or appearing in a national championship, but Penn State was relevant every year. They were competing for a Big Ten championship almost every year that James Franklin was there, and that was not the case at all before him. That program's aura was gone, like I said. They're ridden by one of the worst scandals that I've seen in my lifetime in college football, and he brought that program back from that. And when you look at the magnitude of that turnaround and compare it to Virginia Tech, granted, this program has been down for several years. Things have been great in Blacksburg. But that turnaround, in theory, is a lot easier than what he had to do at Penn State. I also love the pairing of James Franklin and Virginia Tech because James Franklin is a phenomenal recruiter, and he has deep ties in the Mid-Atlantic region. He's a Pennsylvania guy. He coached at Penn State for years, and even Nashville, not very far from that region. I mean, that's a border state of Virginia. And so he has a lot of connections in that area, and he is great at selling young men to come play for him and play for his program. And Virginia Tech's recruiting has been down. The tide with that needs to be shifted, and James Franklin is absolutely 100% the guy to do that, not to mention that he's a fantastic culture builder. I want to get something out of the way here when it comes to James Franklin. I just want to put something out there. This guy is not a good coach. He is a great coach. And like I said a few minutes ago, I know that the ending at Penn State was rocky, and it ended very fast, very suddenly. And there are narratives going on out there that, James Franklin's not a good coach. He underperformed at Penn State. I couldn't disagree more. And I've been critical of how Penn State performed in big spots under James Franklin. There's footage of me talking about that in the past. But I will never discount what James Franklin did at Penn State. Brought that program back from the dead. And is a phenomenal head coach. Penn State and James Franklin, the relationship had just run its course. That happens in sports sometimes. It happens in sports a lot. I mean, an example that I use a lot is John Calipari in Kentucky. Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. The relationship had just ran its course. That is no referendum against the player or the coach. That is no referendum against the organization. Good things only last for so long, and eventually they become stale. And James Franklin's tenure at Penn State had become stale. And it was time for both parties to move on, and that was the best thing for them. And in this situation in particular, why I love this move so much is legitimately everybody wins. Virginia Tech is getting a guy who masters the turnaround. That is a need of theirs. That is exactly what they need right now. And they have all the resources to help James Franklin reach that ultimate goal. James Franklin is being paired with an institution and a program that doesn't have anywhere near the expectation of Penn State. Those championship aspirations are not there at Virginia Tech right now. This fan base just wants a winning season. They want to win 9 games. They want to win 10 games. They want to go to a good bowl. They will be appreciative of that. And I think that with James Franklin being in Blacksburg, this team being turned around to the extent of them competing for an ACC championship and a spot in the playoff is not that far off from this point in time right now. But next year, it's not championship or bust for Virginia Tech. 9 wins, 10 wins, that fan base will be happy with that. And James Franklin is also walking into a situation that's known as the Blue Ocean strategy. He has a wide open ocean of opportunity to capitalize on with Virginia Tech in the ACC. Because name me the program that has stood out, differentiated itself, dominated, established itself as the gold standard in the ACC. Oh yeah, there is none right now. It was expected to be Clemson this year. That flopped. For a little while, maybe Florida State could have been that team. That flopped very quickly. And then we all subscribed to the belief that Miami was going to run away with this conference in early October. That, too, flopped. And I have a whole video about it last week. We have 5 teams competing for a spot in the ACC championship right now. Everybody's kind of even. There's no horse that's pulling away right now. James Franklin has the opportunity to turn Virginia Tech into that powerhouse that is the gold standard in the ACC. Nobody has done it yet, so why not Virginia Tech? They've done it in the past, and they can damn well do it again with James Franklin. And last but certainly not least, the surprising beneficiator, I think I used the right term there, is Penn State. Penn State won from this hire as well. Because instead of having to pay James Franklin up near $50 million in his buyout, they now only have to pay him $9 million. So they save themselves some money, which is going to help them out with their new coaching hire. I think that expands the web of guys that they can go out and pursue now. That helps them with recruiting, that helps them with NIL, other expenditures. So Penn State even wins in the situation now. The divorce is done. James Franklin, Penn State are separate. That need to happen. James Franklin found his reunion. He found his match with Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech found somebody to help them be the architect of a turnarounds. And Penn State saved a hell of a lot of money. So at the end of the day, everybody is going to win here. That is why I love this hire. But let me know what y'all think about it in the comment section below. Thank y'all for watching. Have a great day.